there, Sagittarius. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. I hope everyone is doing well. If you have been drawn to this video, this reading, I'm taking a look at the person who is loving you from a distance. So this is for those of you who are not together. You maybe haven't spoken in a while, no contact, no interaction. Either a recent breakup for some of you guys, and maybe for others it's been a longer time than that. All right, so I'll be starting off with the Treasure Trove Oracle. This is by Mystic Moon Oracles. What I love about this particular deck is it could give us an idea of really who this person is, their life purpose, their vocation, who they're about, you know, their interests, their passions. And then we'll grab some letters, we'll grab some zodiac signs as well to give us further idea of who this person could be. All right, so let's start. General reading as always, Sagittarius, so please do keep that in mind throughout and take the parts of it that do make sense for you and release the rest. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, let us grab some cards here. So who is this person? Who has you in their heart space? And maybe you still have love for them too, but you guys are not together. Ooh, we have the investor. You know, maybe they're in the financial industry perhaps. So it does say best to uphold your end of the bargain and keep the promises you've made. The investor sees a potential with this enterprise. So this is about two people who've invested in each other, but I have a feeling it's coming through in this way. Either they did not hold up their end of the bargain, as it says. Maybe they've broken promises. So we'll see. Okay, that's the first card. Investing time, investing your heart, your everything into a relationship. But maybe they didn't do that. They dropped the ball somewhere. We have the salesman. Isn't that interesting? You know, feeling pressured, don't sign till you've truly read the fine print. Uphold your boundaries personally and professionally. What I'm kind of getting here is, you know, maybe they made promises like they were fully invested. They were all about the connection, the relationship. But when it really came down to signing along the dotted line, meaning full commitment, 100% all in, they could have dropped the ball there. That's what I'm getting. You know, when it really came down to it, the truth, the moment of truth, and they couldn't bring themselves to do it. So that could have contributed to why you guys went your separate ways and why ultimately they could not commit fully, because they might have had one foot out the door. They could have had other options. Okay, maybe you weren't the only person that they were interested in, which could have been a third party situation. So we'll see. Let's dig a little bit deeper here for this reading, Sagittarius. We have the mixologist. Shake out those bad vibes with the mixologist. A refreshing attitude will have new prospects pouring in. Remember that glass is half full, and sometimes we don't always see that glass half full. You know, so it really depends, even for your point of view, Sagittarius, that you know, maybe you weren't feeling a whole lot of optimism, especially when things fell apart between you and this person. But this could also be letting you know that this person might be recognizing that there are other people, other prospects that are vying for your attention, that could be interested in you. So are they willing to be a part of the mix, so to speak, to let their presence be known, that they're interested as well, that they're just as interested, if not more interested, than other people wanting to be in your life. All right, let's see what else for Sagittarius. We've got the detective. Okay, observant by nature. Great powers of intuition come from this detective. They could also be a very suspicious person, especially if they have reason to be. You know, maybe this person has given you cause to be suspicious, tapping into your very observant side, perhaps. All right, it does say the answers that you seek will surely enlighten you in the end. So at the end of the day, what might have happened here, Sagittarius, is you could have had a partner who wasn't exactly being open and honest. Maybe they were keeping things from you and you had to be your own detective to be able to figure things out as to what was going on. For some of you guys, I do feel that it could have been infidelity or unfaithfulness in your relationship. Okay, so let me grab one more here. What else for Sagittarius? The social worker. The social worker is locating the right people for this job. Connect with like-minded individuals to complete this puzzle. Okay, so that could have been the issue too with this person, that they were overly sociable, you know, always searching for other connections. Again, maybe not really fully invested in the relationship. And that could have certainly been a part of the reason why you guys broke up. All right, so let's grab some letters that could be a part of this person or even your name. All right, so I did combine a couple of alphabet decks that might give us an indication, even further clarification of who this reading is for. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Sagittarius. All right, we are starting off with a Z. We have a K coming forward. We have L. All right, J. We have a Q. All right, what else for Sagittarius? We have an N. We have, ooh, look at this. We've got double C coming through. So whenever we get double letters in a reading, it could be someone's initials, of course. It could be that you guys both have the letter C as your first letter of your first name or even last name. Somebody could have 2 consecutive C's in their name. Okay, so take that how it makes sense. Let's grab some more. All right, we have an O. Whoops, this one's flying towards me. This one is an I. We have B. I just happen to be glancing at the letters and I see lion here. Somebody could be a Leo. We have double K, all right? So same scenario, initials, 2 people who have a first or last name that start with that letter. What else for Sagittarius? We have G. Let's grab a couple more here. A couple more here. We have a Y, all right? And one last letter. We have a D coming through. So if any of that makes sense, you know, feel free to go ahead and pause the video and analyze it a little bit more. It could jump out at that time. You could always go back and watch this if it's not resonating at this moment. All right, so let me set these guys aside and we'll now take a look at zodiac signs of who this person could be. And of course, some of your signs could come through as well. All right, here we go. For Sagittarius, who is loving you from a distance. We've got Cancer. We have Aries. Okay, I'll take them. We've got these coming through. We've got Virgo. We have Capricorn. Look at that. Sagittarius. So maybe you guys are both Sagittarians. They could have Sagittarius in their chart too. We've got Libra. And then we have Gemini. All right. So if any of these signs are making sense for your connection, it's right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at additional messages that could complete this picture of what you're dealing with here. I'll be pulling from my Mystical Fairies Romance Oracle. All right, here we go. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Sagittarius, who is loving you from a distance. So they might have broken some promises here. But I feel perhaps at this point, they could be seeing this whole situation from a very different perspective. You know, and I really like this mixologist messages, shake out those bad vibes. and it's a refreshing attitude, right? All right, here we go. Positive outlook. Okay, I like that. Optimism. There we go. Oh, I love that. Look at this. Glass half full mentality, guys. That glass is half full. What are the chances? I love how spirit works sometimes. I love this. So this person that we're focused on for this reading, who is loving you from a distance, they're just trying to see things from this type of perspective. Just trying to remain positive rather than negative. Trying to see that glass half full. I love that. Okay. And maybe you are too. What are the chances? 2 cards from 2 different decks, pretty much saying the same thing. What else for Sagittarius? Remain positive. Look at things from a positive standpoint. We have elation, exhilarated, great happiness, and bliss. I feel at one point in time you guys had that. And something challenged the connection that might have, you know, rocked the foundation of the relationship. All right, what else for Sagittarius? That is so cool. Expectations, anticipation, prediction, exciting news on its way to you. All right, so it's interesting that this is a Sagittarius card. Once we start tapping into the tarot messages, the Temperance card represents Sagittarius, and it can represent the need for patience, you know, that need to certainly anticipate the exciting news, but you can't rush it. It's like divine timing. It's going to come to you when perhaps you least expect it. All right, let's see what else. Some of you guys could have had a family together also. A child, children, somebody could be expecting. Certainly balance is required. Equilibrium, stability, steady foot. I feel whatever caused you guys to go your own way and to separate, things certainly went out of balance. So again, we'll take a look and see what the tarot messages bring forward. You guys could have had a tower moment here. Okay. Oh yes, they want a second chance. Somebody wants a second chance here. Maybe it's mutual. Reconciliation, rekindled love, a happy reunion. That is what they're focused on. Are you on the same page? Right? I feel like grabbing one more here. For now anyway, you guys are connecting in the 5D. Maybe you've been picking up off of particular downloads yourself when it comes to this person. Parallel world, cosmic realm. That is how you guys are connecting for now because of the distance and time apart. But they really are trying to look at things from a more positive outlook here. And I'm really happy to see that. And maybe, you know, that's something you've worked on for yourself too. So now let's get into some tarot messages. And like I have done for all of the other signs, I talked a little bit about this particular deck because I'm really wanting to reintroduce it to my followers and subscribers. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this deck has a particular mission that we really wanted to accomplish when I created it. So this is my Tabby, Jingles. We actually lost her to cancer some years back, and she made such an impact in our family. Our house, our home was so full of love because of her. And so I really wanted to do something in her honor, and this was what I created. And so if you guys have been following me a while, you know that I have created a deck called the Tarot Teacher to be able to help those of you guys who are interested in wanting to learn tarot for yourselves. So after she passed, after we had to put her down because of her illness, this is what came to mind. And so I created the Tabby Tarot Teacher, similar format as the Tarot Teacher, the original, but conducive to those of you who love animals, perhaps particularly cats. And so if you want to be able to support this particular deck, of course, I'll go ahead and link it down below in the description box. And a portion of the sales from this deck will be donated to select animal charities. All right, guys. So just a quick message on that. For some of the signs, I went into a deeper explanation of what happened with Jingles, but then I just ended up getting too emotional, and then I really couldn't put it together, barely. So don't want to be crying on camera here. But yeah, we love her so much. So if you guys have fur babies, take care of them, love them, appreciate them. They're with us for such a short time. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into some tarot, right? All right, here we go. Queen of Wands. So Divine Feminine, this could be you. This could be your vibe, your energy. This is a Sagittarius reading, which is full of fire. Queen of Wands represents that fire, right? I love the upright interpretation of the Queen of Wands. Energetic, vivacious, courageous. You are passionate. You are sexy. You are attractive. You're not going to have any issues attracting somebody into your life. And I have a feeling if this person that's coming through for you, maybe a masculine that, you know, in the beginning, they could have just promised the world and somehow or other, they ended up not keeping those promises. And if that was the case, I have a feeling, my feminines here, you decided to take action for yourself and maybe ended the partnership because of that. I really like that we've got the Ace of Cups right after it, because this is about pouring back into your own cup, especially my feminine. So maybe you've worked very hard on yourself, on your own journey, on your own healing. You know, you guys could have also had some pretty intense conversations when the relationship, you know, came to its conclusion. Some of those words that were spoken could have been hurtful, could have been coming from a place of passion, but it could have also been, you know, pretty intense, pretty harsh. So I really do feel this is like a new chapter for you, my feminines. Maybe you've worked really hard to overcome some of the challenges that you've been through when it comes to your relationship. So this could be a masculine for some of you guys who's coming through in this reading to let you know that you are still loved regardless of how things played out. So a new beginning. Will that new beginning be for just yourself, or will it include this person from your past who still loves you? Eight of Cups. So this is clarification for me that the feminine more than likely walked away from this masculine, you know, decided to perhaps just let the cards fall where they may, and you decided to just walk away. You distanced yourself. Not that that was an easy decision whatsoever. It could have been very difficult. And then we've got the World here. So cycles that have completed. And I really feel that when this chapter came to an end, yes, it was very hurtful. But for some of you guys, I kind of feel that it was also very liberating. You know, it could have been a very difficult choice to decide to break things off. But once you did that, and you had to fend for yourself in a way, and once you decided to take your power back, it could have been very liberating, you know, where things finally started to fall in place for you. And the only way for that to happen was to distance yourself from a partnership that was challenging, because it opens you up to new possibilities. And for some of you guys, those new possibilities could have been new connections, new love, new prospects. So you might have somebody here from a distance who's still loving you, but maybe at this point you've already moved on to another relationship. Maybe you're happy, maybe you're content, and this person, a past love, an ex-lover, now they're taking a look back at the situation and maybe wishing things could have been different. Let's see. What else for Sagittarius? We have Scorpio coming through with the Death card right here. Did we get Scorpio earlier? I don't remember. No, we didn't. Okay, so for some of you guys, you could also be thinking of a Scorpio here. You could have Scorpio on your chart. So the Death card represents the planet of Pluto here, ruling planet of Pluto, the end of a cycle, but it also paves the way for a new beginning as well. You know, because sometimes in order for things to change in our lives, we have to take control and close the door to particular relationships. And I feel that's what might have happened here. That was the only way that change was going to happen. But it seems to be coming through for the feminines especially, who decided to take control and walk away from something that could have been unhealthy or toxic or just out of balance. You know, you needed to create that transition for yourself, but in order to do that, you had to create distance as well. So, is it possible for you guys to have that second chance if you're wanting that? Because going back to what we saw already, some of you guys have the opportunity for a second chance, or maybe this person coming through in this reading still loving you, letting you know that if they could come back, they would. All right. What else here for Sagittarius? Look at, here it is. Here's the Temperance card. So whatever is coming through here in this reading for you, Sag, and if you're feeling a little bit antsy, if things just don't appear to be moving as fast as you'd like, there's the lesson behind it. You know, it's reminding you, you know, just don't do anything hasty. Just be patient. What really is meant for you will come to you. So it really does come down to divine timing. And in the meantime, if you really are able to just focus on the positives, that's what you'll be attracting, because that's the energy that you're putting out there. Look at the next card. You've got the Sun, that is followed by the Two of Cups. And then we've got the High Priestess. Check this out. We've got a perfect match. All right. So remember, we've got the Queen of Wands right here. We now have the King of Wands representing the masculine. So we might have divine counterparts who are currently at a distance from one another, but you guys will have your day. There will be another opportunity to reunite, come back together, because I feel, for those of you who want it anyway, that the love is still here. You both have love in your heart still for each other, and perhaps, Divine Feminine, intuitively you know that your masculine will return, because you guys are on the same wavelength now, or will eventually be. You know, since there is, I feel, time involved and the need for patience, it may not happen right away, but there's a good chance that it will. That's what's coming through here for you, Sag. Okay, so it might still have a very happy ending for those of you who want that reconciliation. For those of you who don't, that's fine. You know, you can still find love elsewhere. You will have a new chapter to start again. And maybe on that journey, you will be able to find someone who is more matched up to what you're wanting, okay? To where you guys can come through as divine counterparts as well. All right, guys, so that is where I'm going to leave this reading. If you are interested in your own reading, I would love to do that for you. If you are interested in any of these decks here, they will all be listed down below in the description box, all right? Thank you so very much, guys. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever it is that you're watching from, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.